My name's Howie Hawkins. I'm running for governor. I'm the Green Party candidate. I would say I'm the last progressive left in this election. Only one on the ballot in November.
What are you hoping to accomplish in the race? Who are you trying to appeal to?
So I'm hoping to appeal to all those people that voted against Cuomo for Zephyr Teachout and Randy Credico, as well as all those who didn't vote in the primary but who are progressive, who want to see full employment, living wages, affordable housing, a single-payer health care system, and a good education for all our kids by restoring funding and getting off this high-stakes test and punish regime. And our centerpiece, we're the Green Party after all, is 100% clean energy by 2030.
You've talked about single-payer health care. What does that look like in your vision?
Well, we had a study in New York State, 2009. They looked at what it would cost compared to if we went with what we got, which is mandated private insurance under the Affordable Care Act, and it would save New Yorkers $28 billion a year by 2019. You make health care a right operated by a system that operates at cost for public benefit, rather than what we have now is a mixed public system for those who can't afford or are old enough to qualify for Medicare, and private insurance. You have a single payer. It's what insurance is about. Everybody puts some money in the pot, everybody's risk is covered. And it's more efficient if it's all one big single system. And it would be comprehensive coverage. So basically you just show up at the doctor's office and get your care taken care of. No co-pays, no deductibles, no premiums beforehand, just health care.
One big difference between you and the Democratic Party is that you're calling for full employment. What does that mean and how would it work?
We would like to see what they called originally when they thought about it, when the WPA was being conceived, employment assurance. Instead of going to the unemployment office if you can't get a job, you go to the employment office. And the local community, which in most places is the county, in large cities would be the city, has public services and public works or infrastructure projects that need to be done, so you take the unused labor to meet unmet community needs. This is something we've done in the past, and this is a country with a work ethic, and I've found in my life personally the most frustrating thing for me is when I'm ready to work and there's no jobs. And I worked in construction for 22 years, and that's a boom and bust industry. So when the times are good, it's pretty good, but when, you know, the bottom falls out of the housing market and there are no jobs, it's very frustrating.
A true progressive agenda is going to have a big financial cost. How are we going to pay for your vision?
We go back to the progressive tax structure we had in New York in the 1970s. If we had that system, 95% of us would get a tax cut, yet we'd raise $8 billion more in state revenues. We have a stock transfer tax. We kept it back in the 1970s. We give it all back now. We collect it and give it back. It's the only tax I know of in the world that we collect and give right back. I think we should keep it. So it would be the very elite would pay a very small sales tax on their transactions. You know, we're paying 7, 8, 9% in New York State, depending on the county, on when we go buy a pair of shoes. You know, but they're paying right now nothing on their purchase of stocks. And then we had hardly any of these big subsidies and tax breaks we have for businesses as incentives or corporate welfare or crony capitalism, depending on what you want to call it. We should get rid of most of that. That's another $7 billion. So we're talking $30 billion in new revenues or savings. We have a $140 billion budget now. That's over 20% of the current budget.
What else would you like the voters to know about you before we go?
Well, personally, I'm a working Teamster. So I think we need more working people in office who have been through the experience of being a working person. So that's why I've been involved in, you know, helping to form the Green Party and why we're running candidates and trying to broaden the political debate.